Hello YouTube, Tony here again. I thought I'd do a follow-up to the video that I did on Banished for the first tutorial. I thought here we'd have a look at the at tutorial number 2 based on survival. Learn to build buildings that produce goods that can help increase changes of survival, such as blacksmiths, tailors and foresters. So it might be a little bit more interesting than the previous look that we had. As a town grows, additional specialised buildings can help make survival easier. In this tutorial you'll build work areas for blacksmiths, tailors, herbalists and foresters. So let's just get right into it. First, place a blacksmith. A blacksmith is used to make tools for the citizens to work with. Start by selecting resource production on the toolbar by pressing that and that. Okay, so let's go down here and have a look at resource production, or you can get to it by pressing F8 by the looks of that. Blacksmith, we'll go over here, and I think it was R and T for rotating them the right way around. Place them down there, crank that up, crank the speed up, we know how to do that. I'll go back and find the tailor, place him down there. Here's the herbalist, probably going to be growing pot out in the yard, out in the bloody bush. Forest lodger, get all of those placed in. And here we're going to assign jobs, citizens to work at all these places. So first of all, we'll assign one blacksmith, assign one tailor. So we're going to assign a tailor there. Herbalists, assign one herbalist. There's just one little pothead out there in the bush. And 3 foresters. 1, 2, 3 foresters. Pretty simple. Since the blacksmith isn't yet complete, you can use the time tools and all that. Yep, so like it says we can do that. Once the building is complete, the tutorial will continue. Nice. So all workers need tools to effectively or efficiently do their jobs. If the citizen doesn't have a tool, the following icon will appear above their head. A little icon of a tool there, I guess. Tools eventually wear out and need to be replaced, but the blacksmith can make new tools. Click on the blacksmith building to view its details. So, blacksmith building was down here somewhere. That one with the dirty great arrow pointing towards it. The blacksmith will use logs and iron to make new tools. Here you can see the inventory of what the blacksmith has and the storage for making tools. If you run out of materials, the blacksmith won't be able to work. Well, it goes to figure, doesn't it? You can also control how many tools to make and put in storage by setting a limit. At the moment you can see the tool limit's 50. If the building isn't producing goods because the limit has been hit, the limit icon will appear over the building, which in this case it actually has. We've hit the tool limit of 50. What happens if I put it up to 250 and just click next? You can enable and disable work at a location by toggling the work button. So, work, get to work. Yeah, little bastard, otherwise you'll be homeless. You can enable and disable work at a bar. Yeah, I said that. Nice. You can also change the product that the blacksmith makes. Using logs, iron and coal, the blacksmith can produce steel tools that last longer than iron tools. At the moment we're producing iron tools. Log and iron. So if that goes steel tool, we can change it to that and click next. Look at that. Next we'll click the tailor. During the winter month, town folk stay warm by occasionally returning to their heated homes. With a tailor you can help the workers ward off the cold and stay outside longer by crafting better clothing. We'll go with that. The tailor can use leather or wool to make clothes, or a combination of both to make the best clothing. So what I've got here at the moment, hide cloth, leather, wool coat, warm coat. Yep, we'll use leather and wool, we might as well, eh? If you run out of the needed materials, the tailor won't be able to work. Likes to state the obvious, doesn't it? When this occurs, the following icon will appear over above the building, which in this case it has, which may be because I chose, let's just go with the leather for the moment. Looks like that's why it was. Right, now we're going to click on the pot farmer, and Herbalist will collect herbs from the surrounding forest and will help the townsfolk stay healthy, I suppose. The yellow circle on the ground, if I zoom out you'll be able to see that. I'll shift this over here because you can shift these wherever you like. This yellow line here, the yellow circle on the ground around the building shows the area that the herbalist will search for herbs or plant his secret stash, I guess. Citizens need a variety of foods to stay healthy, such as meat, vegetables, fruits and grains. If the townsfolk are not healthy, they are more prone to diseases. There's another one of those obvious statements, isn't it? Herbs collected by the herbalist can be used to help keep the townsfolk healthy if their diet is poor. Herbs usually only grow near old trees. This is something to keep in mind when you place an herbalist's building. Might want to do some editing there, I think. Right, let's click the Forester's Lodge down here. Rather than constantly clearing areas of trees to produce firewood, the workers at Forester Lodge will maintain the forest for you. That's quite handy. Workers will plant new trees and cut down old trees in an area around the building. The yellow circle on the ground around the Forester Lodge shows the area that the foresters will work in. So that's quite efficient. Instead of having to take care of it yourself, just put a Forester Lodger in there and a few workers and you're away. You can enable and disable the cutting of trees. When cutting is disabled, no trees will be cut down. Obvious statement number 500. Enable and disable the cutting down nearby mature trees. So I don't think those actual buttons are working at the moment, but never mind. You can also enable and disable the planting of trees when planting is disabled. No new saplings will be planted around the building. Is there any need to really? Foresters will also remove rock and ore that is in their work area to make room for more trees to be planted. I found that to be quite handy if they're going to clear away the rocks themselves. A little bit of initiative is there already, which is good. Let's zoom back down to city level and have a look and see what's going on. That's right, I have to use the keyboard because I am working in a window. Can't remember what that symbol meant. I think it probably means it's full. By using these buildings you can help make sure the citizens have tools, warm clothes for the winter, good health and replenishable forests. Okay, well that's the end of tutorial number 2 by the looks of it. I might just carry on, see what the next tutorial is. As you can see, I think this game was only like 120 megabytes, very small. It's more of a god game than a survival game, I would say. Here we go, there are many ways to produce food for the citizens of your town. Hunting, fishing and gathering can be used to harvest food from the environment, or you can clear the land and plant orchards, grow crops and raise livestock. So, you know, it just gets better, really. Before food can be produced, you'll need to construct buildings and create areas for food production. You can start by placing a pasture for livestock. Select food production on the toolbar by pressing the apple. So there's the apple. Next we'll select a pasture, and it's one of these ones where you select one corner and click and drag it all the way to the other, and there you go. Using the mouse, click on one corner as it says. You can change the placement of the building by pressing T or R, which will rotate it. So that's pretty cool. So do we see what happens? Should I press T or R? No. Okay, can I speed it up from here? Simulation speed. It's not going to let me do a lot. Just wondering what it's wanting me to do now. I haven't placed it properly. There we go. While the pasture is being built, you can place other buildings. A hunting cabin can be used to designate an area where hunters should search for wild game. Hunters need either open fields or forests nearby to effectively hunt. Select hunting cabin from the menu by pressing the deer. There we go. And I'll rotate it around with R and T. Place a hunting cabin. Similar to hunters, gatherers search for and collect food that is growing in the forest. Select the gatherer's hut from the menu. So we'll go down here and select the gatherer's hut, which is quite lucky. All these things have little, very quick pop-up things with all the information of what they are. Farmers can work in a field and grow crops. Place one, select the crop field, which here we are, the crop field, and click and drag from one corner to the next. Farmers can also work in an orchard that produces fruit and nuts. Place one, select an orchard from the menu by pressing the orchard button, or hotkey number 2 by the looks of it, as there are hotkeys as well. I haven't been taking much notice of them. The crop field is currently disabled as indicated by the following icon, which is looks like the stop sign icon. Select the crop field by clicking on it. So here we are, we'll click on that. To enable growth of crops, first you'll have to select a type of seed to plant. You can acquire more seed types by trading with merchants at a trading post, so it gets even better by the sounds of it. Select one of the crop types using the seed button and then selecting a seed from the drop down. So there we are, we will plant some potato, corn. We'll plant some corn. You also need to assign farmers to work in this crop field. Increase the number of workers to 3. So here we are. 1, 2, 3, simply by clicking there. In the spring, workers will plant seeds in the field, and in the autumn they'll harvest the crops. You can direct them to harvest early by selecting Harvest. %, yield so far. After planting, the yield meter will show how mature the growing plants are and can be used as a gauge to determine how much food will be produced. So at 1% yield so far. It's actually growing quite fast. These little bastards here are getting soaked, running backwards and forwards, but they've got a job to do. You can disable or enable work at the crop field by toggling the work button. Well, I don't want to do that. Not just yet. Got 7% yield. And of course that's only one orchard, so I might want to make another one. Like the crop field, an orchard will be disabled until you pick a type of tree to plant. Select the orchard by clicking on it. So here we go, I'll select the orchard. Have a look at what sort of tree. Well, let's go with the plain old apple tree. 3 workers already assigned. You'll also need to assign more farmers to work in the orchard. Increase the so I actually have to assign 3 more. 1, 2, 3, making it 6. Farmers will plant trees. They will grow over time. It may take several years for the trees to produce fruit. Normally farmers will harvest fruit in the autumn, but you can direct them to harvest the fruit early by pressing the harvest button. You can cut down all the trees in the orchard for one to produce a different type of fruit. You can disable or enable work in the orchard by toggling the work button. After planting, the yield meter will show how mature the growing fruit is. Remember that the trees need several years of growth before they produce fruit. So it's going to take a while for that number there to go up. Food limit 5,000, so it might take a while for that to be filled. Select the pasture by clicking on it. So here we go, we're going to do the same thing with animals, are we? No, we're not. We're going to create. I need to assign herdsmen to work in this pasture. Move that over there. Without the herdsman, the animals will not stay healthy enough to reproduce efficiently. Increase the number of workers to 2. So I'm going to put Joseph and Bob in there. If you want to move the pasture into another pasture, you can press the empty button. To do this, you'll have to create another pasture that can hold all the animals. If you want to split the herd in order to increase the number of animals, you can press the split button. To do this, you'll have to have space in other pastures that can hold the animals. 15 of 16, oh I see. This will allow you to quickly gain meat for food if the supply runs low. Oh, that makes sense. Good work. Next we're going to go to the hunting cabin and have a look. Hunters will search the area around the hunting cabin in search of wild game. Now if I zoom out, is there a yellow circle? So he's in a pretty good place for wild game and amongst the trees and stuff, and there's plenty walking around down here by the looks. In addition to providing meat, hunting deer can provide leather, which can be used by tailors to make clothes, which is pretty efficient. You can disable or enable work at the hunting cabin by toggling the work button. So the hunting cabin's pretty straightforward. At any food producing location, you can control the maximum amount of food to produce. Once the amount of food in storage reaches the limit, the workers will cease working. So it'll be full, I guess. Food limit 5,000. It'd have to be pretty good to fill that up, I suppose, this quickly. I'm not sure how much time's actually passed. Right, the gatherer's hut. Gatherers will search the area around the building in search of food that grows in the forest and other plantations, I guess. As long as there is forest nearby, gatherers can be a good choice, because the first type of food production to use in a town, as it provides a variety of foods quickly. Excuse me. Right, we've got a fishing hut down here. Each building that produces goods, tracks how many resources are produced each year. Click on the production button to view resources produced. So here we are. Current season fish 280, logs 3. That's 3 logs for a fishing cabin, that's pretty good. Current season display shows how many resources have been produced so far during the current year. Previous season display shows how many resources were produced the previous season for comparison. Oh, for comparison, I suppose that makes sense. As the population grows, you'll need to expand food production to keep the citizens from starving. Producing a variety of food types will help keep the citizens happy and healthy. Okay, so that looks like that's the end of tutorial number 3, which has been a little bit more interesting. So yeah, I might leave this video at that for this stage before it gets too long. With me forest workers going down here, and here's the orchard. I should better, now if I click on the orchard, no, it won't let me because I'm still in the tutorial. So yeah, I'll end this this video here, and we'll see you in video number 3, where we will cover, let's have a look what we will cover. In the tutorials we will cover trade. So I'll see you in the next video where we will cover trade. Learn how to trade, produce goods for new crop seeds, orchard seeds, livestock, food tools and other resources. See you then.